What's up, YouTube? Wanted to put this video out while I had some clear time, good day. Woodhouse is most of the place where I think the most, where I'm free. My mind is just everywhere. This is where I like. I like to be in my own little domain. Be around no foolishness. Doesn't mean I don't deal with it, but right now it's controlled. So I want to title this one, "No one can dim your light when they're not the source." For me, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, God is my source. He's the fuse that keep all this going. He's the power that keeps all this going. He's my source that I have to daily come back to, daily stay in tune with, because without him, none of this works. If you try to take on, well, I'll put it this way, I'm gonna stop saying me. If I try to take on life and everything that comes with it, it'd be very hard. It'd be hard as hell, because growing up, no one shared the magnitude of just everything that you go through. Mainly because, hell, they were still going through it and trying to figure it out. But I like to do these videos to help someone that may not be where I'm at mentally, because I've learned how to get to certain places because I had to. You can't climb the ladder and you don't strengthen your mind up, because there's a lot of things that take place along the way. Of course, you can be friends that change, and you have to embrace that. You have to embrace the change. You cannot expect change financially, change in job, change and growth, and you don't lose nothing. A tree loses new leaves. Everything has a cycle. But I think when we get attachments to things and people, we don't want that to be a part of the cycle, but there's no growth without it. And I had to learn that the hard way. My family often say, "Oh man, you're an introvert." I'm really not. It's just when I'm around certain people, certain energies, I've learned how to remove myself. I've learned how to pull back. I've learned what is for me and what is not for me. What's for my peace and what would be against my peace. And when I find those things out, it's time to play musical chairs. But back to the whole dimming of the light. I remember there was a time where I wanted to get to a certain level in life. And for whatever reason, it was hard as hell. No assistance was coming and no support. And I wasn't understanding. Not no hoopla. I'm not a roughneck. What's the problem? But what you gotta realize is you don't have to be none of those things. A person that's trying to climb the ladder and go against the grain, you're gonna have it harder than a person that's a roughneck. People don't like for you to shine and outshine them. People like to dim your light. But I'm here to tell you, people cannot dim a light when they're not the source of that light. People cannot dim the light when they're not the fuse of that light. The only way they can dim that light, and that's if you pay too much attention on what they're trying to do versus what's actually happening. If you really think about it, no one can do nothing if you don't allow them to. If you don't allow them to disrupt your peace, you're going to stay on track. If you don't allow them to take you off your square, you'll be right where you need to be, balanced, in the right headspace, and you'll better make the moves you need to make. So as again, no one can dim your light when they're not the source. No one can dim your light when they're not the fuse to that light. You have to get to a certain thinking level to respect that and understand that. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's tough. Because along the way, I've had to leave folks behind. But I'm going to tell you this. I've embraced it. And it doesn't affect me anymore. Any and everyone can be left behind. says, why can you say that? I'll put it to you this way. When you work hard for something, when you work hard to get to a certain level, if you allow anything to disrupt that, you don't value it enough. And see, I value everything that I have and everything that I worked hard for and everything that I'm working towards. So I don't let anything get in the way of that. I find it funny where I was talking to my wife and I tell her out of all of my cousins, every last one of them, I don't have a relationship with none of them. Somebody would ask me, how you feel about that? At one point, it sucked. But, as again, you got to keep moving. You got to keep climbing. Certain family members that I should have close relationships with, don't have them. Guess what? You got to keep moving. You got to keep climbing. Because even within those actions, guess what? The light has to stay lit for others. The same way someone's probably listening to this, I listen to Steve Harvey, T.D. Jakes, Tyler Perry, Eric Thomas, and various Ricky Smiley. I listen to various people. This pastor named Michael Todd. I listen to quite a few people. Now, what if somebody dimmed their light? That's somebody on my list that I wouldn't be able to listen to. That's somebody that I wouldn't be able to strengthen and condition my mind based on what they've been able to endure. I always tell people that are ahead of me, people that are older than me, they are a cheat sheet to life. Because whatever they endure, if they're willing to give you the blueprint, you can avoid certain things, not all things, but certain things. Some things don't have to be repeat. When they say generational curses, they don't have to be repeat if you learn from the people that were ahead of you. If you learn from them, that's your cheat sheet right there. But see, some people, they gotta repeat things and say, that was them, that wasn't for me. No, might be 10 times worse for you. So I've learned, no matter what, my light won't be dim. I got 2 guys that got hired on where I'm at now, and they were telling me how they were tired of, not making enough. After they pay all their bills, they don't have enough to do what they want to do. The future's not looking as bright as it won't. I shared a couple of my videos with them, and it inspired them. I shared a couple of videos with one of the guys named Razzie that got cut loose, and he said, man, you was going through exactly what I went through, man. Because of listening to you, you gave me hope, and I stuck in. Now this man is cut loose, and now the very thing that I was able to do for my family, he's in the starting process. He'll be able to do for his family. I want to be a light. Don't let nobody dim your light, no matter who it is. You can love them. It can be your mama, your daddy, your grandmother, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, whoever. Do not allow them to dim your light. This is the mindset you have to have, and this is why trying to be successful is not for everybody, because there's things that you're going to have to do that you got to be equipped to do mentally. Leaving people behind, understanding what's for you and what's not for you, and removing yourself. Understand where you're going and value it enough to say, you know what, I can't do that. I can't go there. I can't be around you no more. I got to talk to you only on the phone. If they're negative, I can't talk to you on the phone no more. Trying to be successful is hard because it's going to be the road less traveled. A lot of people you're going to have to leave behind. A lot of people are not going to like that you had to leave them behind. A lot of people are going to say things that is going to hurt you. But if you allow them to dim your light, people like me won't be able to hear from you. People like me back in the day when I needed to, there was a message that T.D. Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes had a long time ago, and 10 years ago, it turned my life around quick. And it's a sermon called, Your Faith Must Stand Trial. And at that point in my life, that's all I was standing on, faith. Nothing was working, no doors was opening. Things was harder than what I wanted them to be. But listening to that message, it lit the light. It became the fuse. And I had to get on my square, 10 toes down, and become a man this thing work. Now I've made it to the wheelhouse. I'm able to provide on a level for my family like never before. We can do what we want to do, go where we want to go. Find different fuses to keep your light lit, good and bad. I had captains that didn't want to help, but I had to light that fuse with motivation. I'm going to get up here one day. I had captains that did give me a blueprint on getting up here, staying up here, and what to do when you got up here. That became my fuse to take it further. Most people get in their seats and say, well, I made it in the wheelhouse. I ain't outside where it's hot no more. It goes further than that. This is a stepping stone. This is not the end all. This is a stepping stone. This is a job that can provide you the wealth and the money to fund something else. But for some people, that's not their goal. This is a fuse that's going to light another dream. This is a fuse that's going to create something else. This is a fuse, what I'm doing right now, to spark somebody else's mind, to do something, to go far, and to make it happen. This is who I am. I remember I was talking to my girl one time, and she was saying, "Sonny boy, everybody don't want to hear that motivational stuff. Sometimes you got to meet people where they are." I disagree. If I gotta shift gears to accommodate somebody, I'm hanging around the wrong person. And it's not that they're bad. It's not that I'm better than them. It's just you have to stay in your lane. We all have lanes. Me shifting gears, I'm gonna tell you how it feels. Me shifting gears talking to somebody is draining. It's like talking to somebody that don't have anything going for themselves. What are we going to talk about? I want to take my wife to Chateau Elan down there in Georgia. Real exquisite place. You know, it's a winery place. I don't drink, but I will go for the knowledge and the experience. But this is a place here where, you know, $100 plus a plate you're going to spend. I always wanted to sit front row seats to a basketball game. You're probably gonna spend 12 to 15,000, you know, total. Maybe, you know, 15. I'm assuming. I'm not sure, depending on who's playing and where it's at. But I'm gonna do it, and I want to do it. I want to own a boat. I want to own a camper. I have a 2500 Cummins. I want a 3500 Cummins Mega Cab. I want to travel the world. I want my kids to be in all type of extracurriculars. Now, talking to someone where you can't even see a future for yourself, I can't talk to them. They're not going to be able to handle my ideas. What I understand is, what I've come to understand, big ideas is too much weight for a small mind. They can't see it, and they can't even feel it. When you broke, you don't want to hear about somebody making money. I'm gonna tell you how I know that. One of my aunts, great aunts, she's got money. Her and her husband got money, and the only problem at the time that she had was a dog coming in her yard using the bathroom. On the other hand, my grandmother financially was struggling, and my aunt's on the phone about the dog, and my grandma's looking at the phone like, I'm over here struggling financially, and you talking about a damn dog. That's what I mean about different lanes. It's not that she got to cut her sister off. It's not that she can't talk to her. It's that certain things are not for certain people. And you have to make that decision on what you're going to do and what you have to do. And for me, unfortunately, with the way I think and how I move and what I'm able to do, I didn't have to remove people. People remove themselves. So I had to understand that this is a part of the process, and that there's nothing that I can do if I want that light to continue to grow, if I want to continue to make things happen and be that fuse. So take something from this and make it happen, and continue to be that fuse, continue to be that light, because somebody needs to see you. Somebody needs to hear a message that you got. Eric Thomas can't talk to everybody. Guess what? There's things that I haven't went through where what I'm saying may not work for somebody, but whoever's listening is what you may have to say may help somebody. if you can't see yourself where where your friends are or whoever you hanging around, if you can't see yourself where they are, you hanging around the wrong people. And if you keep hanging around them, they're gonna make sure you don't get no further than them or where you are. That's just how it's gonna go. So, as again, don't let nobody dim your light. Understand where your source is.